If you own an OFM agency and you've been stuck at the same revenue every single month, these were the mistakes we were making that were keeping us stuck at around 80,000 in revenue every single month. After we changed these, in about a 1 to 2 month period, we're now up at around 120,000 a month. If you don't believe me and you think I'm lying, you can check some of my other videos where I show results from our clients. So I speak to a lot of people in this industry, and these are the main mistakes that I've found everyone's doing, we were doing, and we've been able to correct and fix super easily. Number one mistake is usually one person will start an agency, which really limits the amount of time they can put into the chatting side of the business, which is where most of the money is actually generated. And what this leads to is they give away a large percentage of their revenue to a leech known as a chatting agency. Now, these chatting agencies will use low-skilled workers, they won't really care about your business, and they're just there to cut their costs as low as possible and make as much profit from you as they possibly can. So if you are thinking about going with an agency, make sure you check all the work they're doing, make sure it's at a good standard, and they have previous results working with high-level clients. Otherwise, it's much better to do what I'm about to say in the next slide. And this ties in with the first point. If someone's using a chatting agency, it's because they haven't taken the time to learn how to sell. So when they're looking at their own chats that this agency is working on, they won't be able to tell, is this chatting good, is this chatting bad? They won't know what works, they have no experience, so they're just trusting someone blindly. Which you don't want to be in this situation, because if someone knows, you don't know if they're doing a good job or not, and they're going to get paid either way, why would they go the extra mile to keep you happy? They're just going to take the profit, do whatever they want, and you will have no way of regulating what's going on in your client's accounts. If you know how to sell, you'll be able to teach this to other people, cut your costs extremely low because you're the direct line to your chatting team. So now that we've covered the first two lazy mistakes a bunch of people are making in the OFM agency space, this one is more for newer people that really want their first client, they're desperate for their first client, and they're going to go into these Telegram groups and start buying contracts to sign creators straight away. They'll find someone that's already signed a client, they'll pay them $500 to $5,000 for this contract, and then they will start working with the client. The reason this is a terrible idea is someone wants to sell an opportunity to make an extra $10,000, $20,000 a month for as low as $500. If they're working with a client and they're selling their contract for $500, that client is probably not a good client for you either. They'll have all sorts of problems. When you buy these contracts and start communicating with your client, you'll find out there's a bunch of problems that are going to limit the amount of money you can make together with them. The main things to look out for is they're lazy, they won't make the content, or they've stolen money from previous agencies. There's a bunch of other ones I could go over, I can make a whole video on it. I would just recommend not to buy contracts and put in the work to outreach yourself and sign your own clients. Now, these three things fall into the case of outsourcing too soon without knowing the best practice and trusting other people. Say you wanted to run Reddit for your clients. You wanted to bring in a bunch of new subscribers by posting content to Reddit for one of your clients. You might find someone saying, "Oh, I offer a Reddit service, I can get you 20 subs a day, please pay me X amount." And you pay them, you trust them with it, you leave them. A month goes by, you've sent them $300 already, and no subs have come in. And you will have no idea. They might have been doing what they were saying. You might see them posting content, all this, you think it's all good, you don't think it's their fault. But if you haven't mastered Reddit as a traffic source, if you don't know the ins and outs of the platform, you're not going to know if they're doing a good job or not. So don't be lazy, take the time to learn your traffic sources in and out before outsourcing to another person. The only situation where I think it's okay is if you know a bunch of people in the industry and they can vouch for someone that's been getting them great results already. And if you trust them and you see they get great results, then you can possibly trust this person to get you great results as well. Otherwise, just take the time to learn the task yourself, and then you can outsource it for much cheaper by training someone new. Another big problem agencies run into is they start getting good results for a client, the client gets a bunch of money, the client then gets lazy. And this is because they haven't taken the time to invest into the client, build a relationship with them, get to know how their life's set up, what their problems are, call them 1, 2, 3 times a week, go through their goals, go through where they're at, and actually build a team around them instead of separately building a team and just sending a WhatsApp message once a week to them for content. That's not going to make them feel like it's important for them to do their work. They're just going to leave it all to you and they're not going to help you. So now, same with your client's motivation, your team's motivation also matters as well. If you're bringing on chatters or any sort of virtual assistant, and you're not speaking to them, you're finding them previously already with experience, throwing them on your account, letting them do their thing, not talking to them, paying them $3 an hour, 3% commission, just leaving them. They might be good for a week or two, but then they'll just start to slack, they won't be motivated, and they won't care. So we'll go over how we actually motivate our staff quickly on the next slide too. Now this next one is the reason people end up giving up and buying contracts instead of doing it themselves. Their Instagram profile is not optimized to outreach for new clients. And if they don't have an optimized Instagram, they can send 1,000 DMs, and their reply rate and their call bookings will be awful, and they'll just think there's no point, I'm going to give up, I'm going to take the easy way out, and then struggle to make enough money. So it's super important. I've made a video on how to optimize your Instagram. Go watch that. Take it seriously. Go optimize your Instagram, and then you can start booking way more calls than before. And once you have booked a client using this method, once your Instagram is optimized and you're like, okay, it's easy, like I can get a client whenever I want, you just stop outreach. That's a very bad thing to do. You want to keep the outreach going, because outreach is a delayed thing. You might spend a month outreaching with no results, follow up a bunch of times, and then 3 months later, you sign a bunch of clients from that initial outreach. So you've got to keep outreaching, even if you're full, even if you think I've got enough clients, bad stuff can happen. You can lose one overnight, one's account can get banned, anything bad can happen. I would just keep taking on more and more clients. You can either taking on more and more clients, and if you find one that's really good, you can stop working with an underperforming client and take on this new one, or you can just scale your agency more and run them both. It's not too hard to put systems in place to have tens, hundreds of clients. And once you do have these clients, you need to be able to bring them traffic, or their pages will die and no one's going to make any revenue. You have a bunch of traffic options such as Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. Those are the main ones. And with these traffic options, you don't want to try and do all 5. Now with these traffic options, you don't want to try to do them all at once. If you're a new agency, or if you're a current agency and you haven't mastered any traffic source, just take Instagram Reels for example, and work really hard on learning the ins and outs, find out how to make viral content, find good editors for each client, start producing high quality viral content for them. And once all your clients' Instagram accounts are working really, really well, and you've got systems in place, it doesn't take a lot of your time to give this service to your clients, you can then find another traffic source, master that one, and start outsourcing that one. And before you know it, you'll have mastered all the traffic sources and built systems around it so you can provide a great service on all social media sites for all of your clients. And if you've tried everything I've said, if you've tried to motivate your clients and you can't get the content from them to actually give them the good marketing service you know you can offer, don't be afraid to pour a bunch of extra time into outreach and the clients that are providing the right content. You can just have your chatters on the account, keep making the money, but you don't need to waste a bunch of time begging your client to create the content for you. You can just move on, keep taking on new clients, keep scaling up, and also keep making the revenue on your underperforming client's account, because it's still profit at the end of the day. And when it comes to profit, you need to know what to spend your profit on. You can't just be like, okay, I'm making 10k a month now, let's go live in Dubai, let's spend $9,900 every single month. Then if you want to hire new staff, if you want to buy information, if you want to buy mentorship, if you want to scale, if you're spending all your money every single month, there's no ability left, there's no energy left to pour into scaling your agency, and you'll be stuck at the same point. So don't spend all your profit. Reinvest a good amount into the business, keep it scaling up, because there's more money to be made. And if you're doing this on your own, it's good to start reaching out to other people you know that have OFM agencies. You can find them all on social media, you can find them on Twitter. Start talking to people in the industry. One, you'll have more fun, and you'll build good friendships with these people, and you might end up traveling with them and all this and having some great experiences. That's also good for your personal life. But also, they're going to be better at certain things than you, and you're going to be better at certain things than them. So you can share this information, you can work together, and you can both improve your agencies. Now, if you are stuck at a point, these are the main sort of things you can implement pretty quickly within the space of 1 month to break past that barrier that you're stuck at. Any task that you're doing that could be done by someone with a very low IQ, aka a bot task, you can create a document that explains exactly how to do this task, find a VA in a third world country, pay them around $3 an hour, and get them to complete this task for you instead. Free up a bunch of hours of your time, and you can work on more important things like scaling your agency, finding new clients, all good stuff like that. And when you do hire these VAs, most of them, they won't be great, they'll be lazy, they'll have other issues like bad equipment, but you are going to find a few people that you do hire are really good, they want to do more work, and they want to help you. Those people, you want to look after them, you want to maintain them, and you want to promote them in your agency and give them better roles with better pay. These people are going to keep your agency together in the long run as you get bigger. You're going to give them a bunch of responsibility once they've proved themselves. This will help you scale, save your time, and you'll have people around you that you can trust with the important tasks. And you might get to a point, you might get to like 70,000 a month and be like, right, that's easy. I know what I'm talking about now. I can just relax and slowly scale and everything will be fine. That's not true because you have a bunch of competition. There's a bunch of agencies continuing to learn, continuing to improve their chatting, improve their marketing, and you're against them. So if you relax if you relax, you notice your revenue starts coming down. So if you've been relaxing and taking it easy and you notice your revenue is starting to fall, you need to go in and find out, okay, what's my competition doing? What is the new methods that we need to implement into our marketing, into our chatting that's going to keep the revenue coming in and keep us competitive? So always be learning more about your industry. Never stop learning and never stop trying new things. I already spoke about the reinvest in profits before. That's pretty straightforward. Improving your personal brand. So you can reinvest your profits, improving your Instagram. You can start posting on YouTube. You can start creating educational content like the video you're watching right now. And this might find you clients that you can mentor for a percentage of the agency or something like that. Or it's going to bring in actual OF clients that want to improve and they start watching your videos and then they might message you on Instagram and be like, please, can you help me? So if you build a good personal brand, you can start getting inbound leads instead of having to send outreach DMs every single day. That's one way to improve the personal brand. The second way is just to improve your Instagram, go to nice places, get nice pictures, all of that stuff. You can invest money into that and it will help you sign more clients. And once you do have a bunch of clients and you're getting results, but you still can't sign a new client, you can get your existing clients to either talk about their results, refer other people to you, give them maybe a commission if they do a good referral, or they can make testimonial videos for you. You can share their results on your social media profile. And this will let other people see you do know what you're talking about and you can get results. And anytime we're stuck with anything, I always just start reaching out to people that I know have agencies, asking them what they're doing, finding out what they're doing different to us, implementing what they're doing, seeing if it works. And networking really will give you a bunch of new ideas and new perspectives and different ways to try things that can make you break through a bunch of barriers. So if you are an agency that is stuck and you want to talk to someone like me that is doing over 100,000 with their agency, you can click the link in my description. It'll take you to our free Discord and you can message me or Luca.